All right, dear friends, I don't know how much I can speak about what's going on or what was going on in Alaska and what's going to happen tomorrow with Zelenskyy, because I don't know if anybody anywhere is speaking at any level of cognition that is not schizophrenic. What are people talking about regarding what's really happening in the world? What's happening with Putin? What's happening with Ukraine? What planet are these people on? How is it that somehow this lunacy, this absolute lunacy that adopted this Fox News and New York Post, and what is this? Look, I understand there were neocons for a while, and I understand there was always this idea that people came along for the most part, and whenever anything happened, whenever there was any kind of military action whatsoever in the U.S., people just loved it because they figured that to be an American, you have to always wave the flag and, hit your chest and always scream and yell on behalf of America and fighting and war. And I simply don't understand it. I've never understood it. It's never made any sense to me. And this is the problem that I've dealt with. This is what I have to deal with, and you as well. I don't know, I can't speak for you. I don't fit into this world. I can't talk to friends of mine because they watch Fox News. I was listening to Judge Napolitano had on Lindsey Graham talking about Israel. They're still doing that. I mean, our foreign policy is schizophrenic. It's owned. We have no, I don't even know where to. It's owned by NATO, Israel, AIPAC, the military-industrial complex, the Pentagon, Raytheon, I guess. I don't know. Seeing President Trump standing up there with Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth, dear God, get them off. Does he not know? Russia brings their A team. Do you know what they've had to deal with in terms of the existential threats? They had, in the 20th century, 3 civil wars, in essence. 3 revolutions, I should say. 91, it was 17, or whatever it was, the original one, and then there was a civil war. I mean, they World War II. It's just their whole world, and they are ready for Freddy. They're like chess players, and we bring Pete Hegseth, Witkoff, Lutnick, Marco Rubio. This is our negotiating team, and you just sit there and you say, "Oh, that's pretty good." What are you, nuts? Dear God. They don't even see it. They don't get it. That's the part that kills me. They don't understand. I say this at the, I've told this to people, and they say, "What's wrong with Marco Rubio?" I say, "What's wrong with Marco Rubio? He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about." Remember that line he said about Israel? I know Israel has nothing to do with this, but I'm saying this goes to show you the mentality. These people are just bought flat out. Oh, I know it's for a good cause and that sort of thing. But this, Trump finally realized it. He said it. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Trump finally recognized it. That's when he basically said, screw this ceasefire. It's going to be settlement. And you know what, Zell? You're on your own. And when he comes tomorrow to the White House, he's going to say, "You're on your own, kid, not me." I don't even know how I got into this. He was bamboozled because Trump thinks he's tough and rough and this. It doesn't work like that. This was never your fight to begin with. The war in Ukraine was never some crazy bolt of, I don't know, insanity or madness. It was the result, Mr. President. It was the result, the inevitable result of NATO expansion, Western arrogance, all of this colliding with Russia's demand for a secure buffer. How many times does Putin have to say, this is an existential threat? How many Americans do you think really don't know what that means? I don't think they know what it means. I don't think they know what it means. I don't think they know what it means. The West. We thought Russia would fold. I guess. I don't know what they thought. I think Trump just think he walks up like this. But instead, Putin in Moscow and the Kremlin, they double down. And unless Washington and D.C. and Trump recalibrates, and the West as well, the West risks endless war. And let me say this. Listen to me. Stop for a second. Listen to me. It risks possible nuclear catastrophe. America is too immature. They don't get it. They laugh. They think it's funny. They just think that was then. We don't really face nuclear because we've been living in la-la land. We think we're the greatest country in the world and nobody. We have depleted. We don't even have the manpower, the firepower. Don't kid yourself. We have, I don't know how many weapon systems we've given that Israel just keeps using up. And Ukraine, what about for us? We're giving it. They ain't buying them. We're giving it to them. The root cause is obvious. NATO's steady march eastward since they've been talking about this since Kennan, since 91. This is the same refrain. Did Trump not understand this? They've been saying, you're moving NATO. This was always going to be unacceptable to Moscow. Period. Did he think they were going to change their mind? Do you think Putin's kidding? Do you think he's kidding around? Look, I don't want you to like this guy. I don't like him, love him, hate him. I'm an American. Let Russia be Russia. You figure this thing out. None of us. We're funding this. You know what? And if NATO wants to put Ukraine there, fine. Don't look at us. We're in this stupid Article 5 stuff. We've got to bail them out. Screw it. Get out of NATO. You want to fight Russia? You go ahead. Come on, UK. Come on, Starmer. Belarus, Poland. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Don't look at us. We're busy. I've got a lunatic in New York who wants to turn this into some, I don't know, some gulag or something. I don't care about this. We have no interest in this. Ukraine means nothing to us. I mean, America just, I guess we fell for that. And the New York Post, that Douglas Murray, what's his problem? And this weird Fox News, this bellicose, ridiculous. Ukraine entering NATO meant hostile forces with advanced weapons on Russia's doorstep, on their frontier. Are you kidding me? What about that do you not understand? Americans are so stupid, we say, well, that's tough. That's tough? Look at these people. Do you know what the Russian mentality is, what they've been through? They don't take this lightly. This isn't paranoia. It's basic great power logic. Imagine Mexico. Imagine Mexico joining a Chinese-led alliance, building bases across the Rio Grande, and daring Washington to object, daring Putin, Trump rather. What do you think he would say? Trump would crush it in a heartbeat and not even ask permission, and would gladly do it and show pictures of it and tell the rest of the world, this is what happens when you mess with us. Russia did the same thing when it saw NATO's designs, so to speak, on Ukraine. It did the same thing. It did the same thing. Now, the mistake has been always, and everybody does it, to paint Putin as irrational or insane or evil or some cartoon villain, some Boris and Natasha, bent on conquest. The truth is simpler. He's a calculating, smart as hell leader, driven by national security concerns that he has been. In June of 2024, he said the same thing. He's been saying the same thing. He doesn't budge. You don't know. He says this is an existential threat. 4 oblasts plus Crimea. No NATO for Ukraine, which they never wanted to do in the first place. They could have said this from the beginning. And third, a neutral Ukraine, a rump state, just there, Austria, whatever the hell it is, just sit there. The West, especially us, we screwed up, effed up like you royally by ignoring how Russia defines its survival interest. And who do we have to figure this out? Marco Rubio, Lutnick, Witkoff, Pete Hegseth. You're kidding me. This is the brain trust? I think Trump just picks people he likes from New York, or he likes the way they look, and Pam Bondi. Have you seen her? She's like the scapegoat. Threw her under the bus. She looks cored out, bored out. She looks like frozen. You bring in this crew. You bring in the A-team, Lavrov and Putin against these guys. Putin has never insulted the president one time. Trump says stuff is just crazy. He insults people. Then when he says, come to Russia, I don't know. Okay, maybe. Oh, I'm going to catch a lot of grief for that. You're the president of the United States. You pride yourself on being tough. You care about what somebody thinks? Who's advising him? And they're so stupid. They're saying, oh, true, Putin what? Putin has been saying the same thing. What are we doing? We have this thing where it's some kind of masculine deal, or whenever we just love war. We have 850 bases in 70 countries? It's ridiculous. Washington clung to this liberal hegemony, this nut delusion that every country can be made in the West's image. Democracy, sprinkled like magic pixie dust across the continents. There. You're going to be like us now. Reality is a little harsher. Great powers fight to survive, and Russia's no different. And you're messy. You're going to sanction them. They're the most sanctioned country in the world. What are you doing? They're saying our GDP is growing. What are you doing? You're going to have Lutnick and Witkoff? Who in the hell are they? Seriously. I know he's their New York buddies. Marco Rubio paying just, oh my God. And the media insists that Putin somehow wants to rebuild the Soviet Union, that he won't stop anything. There's Ryan. Ryan says, nobody understands history. The Russians have coveted the Crimea since Peter the Great. They always needed the warm water port. There's no deal that doesn't include that. Absolutely. Donetsk, Lugansk, Zaporozhye, whatever, the 4 oblasts plus. What? I didn't even get to the part, Ryan, and by the way, thank you. I didn't even get to the part yet about the denazification of this. Remember the right sector and the Azov battalion and Stepan Bandera? No, of course not. You've got Steve Lutnick. Hey, tough guy. Hey, over here. Hey, I'm a New York guy. Cannabis germ of New York guy. Hey. Oh, my God. The media still insists that Putin wants to rebuild the Soviet Union, that he won't stop at Ukraine, that Poland and the Baltics are next. There's our friend Carla. She's Carla to me. His idiocracy mind needs to go back to dancing and performing. The peace thing is not for him or what he signed up for. Absolutely. Well, I don't know who he is, dancing and performing. You mean Zelenskyy or Trump? I think they're both the same. And thank you. Let me explain to you something. You've been told this line of crap that somehow Putin's not going to stop at Ukraine, that Poland and the Baltics are next. Come on. That is nonsense. Russia isn't economically or militarily strong enough to devour half of Europe, and it doesn't want to. Remember what Putin said. He said, any Russian who doesn't think fondly or think back on the Soviet Union without having it tug at your heart doesn't have a heart. And anybody who wants to go back to that doesn't have a brain. This is the most important thing in the world. Russia already struggles to secure the territory it has taken, that it has. What it does have, and will not compromise on, is the will to prevent NATO's encirclement. That's the red line. Either the West realizes this, recognizes this, or it keeps bleeding money and resources into a war Ukraine cannot win. And you know what I know. You know it and I know it. It's the money's going a little bit to Ukraine. It's going to us. Military, the stocks, the contractors, the lobbyists, the military-industrial complex. That's where this is going to. We've been through this before. Our wars are about money. They're not about... Stop it. Stop it. If NATO wants to do it, fine. Just go ahead and go up against Russia. You don't need us. You're smart. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. See, Trump walked into this disaster convinced his instincts would prevail, that his tough guy would prevail, that which is him. Doesn't look like Monica Crowley is working out too well for Trump. What a bungled... Don't even get me started. It's the usual suspects with these people. I don't get it. I don't get it. But she's small potatoes. Don't even worry about this. Just makes us look stupid. Trump cut back aid, pushed for negotiations, demanded Europe carry more of its defense burden at first, which made sense. And on paper, that sounded like common sense. The smart thing to do. The idea was to force a settlement. Ukraine would abandon NATO membership. Remember that? It would declare neutrality and acknowledge the territories provided, the 4 oblasts plus Crimea, and focus on survival. It was ugly, but still preferable to endless bloodshed, right? That's the way it should have been. That's the way it should have been. That's where I thought we were going. The problem is that Trump miscalculated because I don't know who's advising him. He underestimated how deeply the Washington foreign policy machine and its media mouthpieces were all committed to escalation. He doesn't get it. He failed to realize that the usual suspects, Lindsey Graham, the Permanent War Caucus in both parties, and the cable news propaganda sock puppet proxy outfits that masquerade as networks, are all neoconservative sock puppets. Fox News plays the same game as CNN and MSDNC when it comes to war fever. They beat the drums, they wave the flags, they sell the public on fantasies of some kind of victory, because endless war is their business model. You know it and I know it. And the result? Trump's been outsmarted and outmatched. He thought pulling a few levers would bring peace talks. Come on, man. Seriously. Instead, the neocons doubled down. They boxed him in, forced his hand, and made it clear that he owns the war if he doesn't get out and get out now. And now he knows it. He's finally realized that staying entangled in this is a mistake. He's backing off, quietly perhaps, and he's going to hand it over, the whole mess, back to Zelenskyy. That's what he's saying tomorrow. Listen, I'll be here if you need me, but this is yours. We're out of here. Because somebody somewhere along the line got to him. Maybe this 4D chess genius of his took over. Because the truth is, he never should have been involved in this in the first place. You understand this? This isn't about morality. Wars aren't managed on moral clarity. They're decided on strategic clarity. And strategically, Ukraine is losing hundreds of thousands of dead. And I'll be honest with you, this letter that Melania wrote, she didn't write a letter. Come on. You want to talk about people being kidnapped? What about the men and young boys on the streets of Ukraine who are kidnapped into conscription? What about that? Let me tell you something. Zelensky's not going to step foot in Ukraine after this is done. He's going to take his $1 billion, his compounds in Cyprus or Miami, wherever the hell it is, if he makes it that long. If he makes it that long. Hundreds of thousands of dead. This is Ukraine. Cities in ruins. An economy in collapse. Russia has taken ground and can sustain far heavier losses. Every new Western weapons package just prolongs the inevitable without changing the outcome. Why doesn't Melania write something about that? The grim reality is that Ukraine is being destroyed, while Washington and usual suspects and Brussels, the EU, pretend that victory is around the corner because they make money no matter what. When they leave, all of the generals, all these people go work, they work for the biggest military. Remember, military, big tech. And don't think for a moment that Peter Thiel and Elon and others are making money with cloud warfare systems. This is a joke. Everybody thinks that somehow war is like, well, you have to show tough. This is stupid. And they have built up this absolutely fanatical, this delusion that somehow Trump, that Putin is this crazed. I don't know what to tell you. The nightmare isn't just defeat on the battleground. It's escalation, spinning out of control. If you get a desperate Ukraine, armed to the teeth by NATO, it could provoke Russia into a nuclear response. Do you hear what I'm saying? And they talked about that, a nuclear response. You want that? Nobody's saying wants that. And you keep going up to Putin. You keep going like this. You're going like this. You're going like this. Thumb in his eye. Come on, tough guy. Come on. I dare you. He's been saying this. Okay. Finally, 2024. That's it. February 24th. I'm out of here. We're going in. He has it. He has it. He could level Ukraine. He said, why do I want to do that? Why do I want a meat grinder? It's like Lindsey Graham says, Israel. Israel. I don't hear that genocide. If there were genocide, Hamas would be. He's talking this nonsense. Oh my God. And people buy it. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. They can't even see through this. So as far as Ukraine goes, the best outcome on offer is a frozen conflict. An uneasy ceasefire. Think about this. This is the best they can do. Nobody sane wants this. The best outcome on being offered is some kind of weird ceasefire, neither side satisfied, occasional flare-ups, but no direct escalation into a larger war. It's a terrible deal. But it beats nuclear Armageddon, maybe. The bottom line is no ceasefire. None. You're giving the guy time to regroup. What are you talking about? It's like you getting, there were a couple of people a while back on YouTube. There were these amateur kind of a street level fighters, and they would challenge a professional. And the professional fighter invariably would do these crazy things. The professional would do things like, okay, and get in the ring with them. And at some point, the amateur would say, hey, time out. Time out. He goes, there's no time out. What do you mean time out? What are you talking about time out? There's no time out here. There's no time out. This is nuts. That's what ceasefire is. There's no time out, no war. Ceasefire? What are you talking about? No. Keep going. The person who asked for the ceasefire is the one who's losing. But see, the establishment still insists on its fantasy, on the Sean Hannity fantasy. These tough guys with their lapel pins who've never fought a day in their life. I've never been in the military. I don't have to be in the military to know what war is and to avoid it. And when a nuclear power says this is an existential threat, look, if they were Senegal, okay, not Russia, and the liberal internationalists, they demand Ukraine's full sovereignty. They want the collapse of Russia and a moral crusade to punish Putin. Come on. It's delusional. Great powers don't collapse because outsiders demand it. Russia will not be cowed, no matter how many sanctions are slapped on its elites. And Ukraine, tragic as it is, will pay the price for Western and EU and NATO stubbornness. And the deeper point, my friend, the deeper point is that it isn't just about Ukraine. It's about the entire post-Cold War order. It's about Washington believing it could run the world unchallenged. Because we think we run the world. Expanding, our groups and our alliances, controlling resources. And that Americans invariably would buy it. How many stupid Americans do you know have these Ukrainian flags upside down? Don't even know what it is. It's a thumbnail to them. It's like stay at home, get the shot, get the jab. Any phrase, anything that they feel is a part of the movement. This is nuts. This is the nuts. Washington believes it could run the world, again, without any interruption, any challenge. And any kind of group or alliance we can expand. We can control resources and your natural resources. And we can police borders from the Balkans to Central Asia. But now, the mask is off and the truth is out. Russia drew a line, a red line. And the West can't erase it, can't ignore it. And China is watching. And the rest of the world is watching. And the illusion of unipolar dominance is crumbling, if not immediate. It's a different world. This is a reality. And here's the bitter irony. Trump, the supposed disruptor, has been caught flat-footed. I don't know why. I don't know who's talking to him. Who is he talking to? What, Mark Levin? Who's giving him this? He thought his deal-making instincts could bypass the entrenched, war machine? Is that it? Did he thought cutting aid and talking tough would bring Europe to its knees? Cause Europe to heal? No. Instead, he walked straight into the trap. The neocons and their media proxies outfoxed him. They pushed harder, controlled the narrative, threatened his manhood and masculinity, and forced him into a corner. I got a bunch of stupid Americans to say, well, this is great because we just love war. War is great. We're all about war. No, we're not. Now, the only smart move is to retreat. And that retreat will be sold as strategy. But in truth, it's admission. Handing the problem back to Zelenskyy is a signal that the United States is no longer willing to bankroll this fantasy. And it's about time. Trump will dress it up as forcing Europe to step up, but everyone will know the reality. He lost. And we could have told him. We did tell him. We've been telling this since day one. in 2016, and then Biden picked it up, and you think he would say, this is, who's advising him? He has no friends. He has dimwits and yes men and kiss-ass sycophants and bootlickers and lickspittles. And maybe that's for the best. Maybe this is the best. Maybe the longer America stays in, the deeper the hole it gets. Inflation, energy shocks, fractured alliances, I don't know. Military stockpiles depleted. All, my friends, for a war that can't be won. And it's time to face the brutal arithmetic. Look at me. Russia sees Ukraine in NATO as an existential threat. Russia has the will to fight forever to stop it. And the West and us and the EU and NATO can't change that reality. And the 3 points driving Moscow's position are plain. Ukraine is not just another neighbor. It is historically tied to Russia, central to its identity and security. And Americans don't understand this. And Sean Hannity doesn't understand it. And Mark Levin doesn't understand it. And Jesse Waters and who else is there? You name it. They I don't know what to talk about. Because they've only known our country and our borders, and they know about American pride, but not anybody else's pride. Second point, Russia demands strategic depth. Its history of invasions makes enemy forces on its border intolerable, unacceptable. You understand that? It knows a little bit about invasion. It's allergic to it. And the third thing is, the West broke its promises about NATO's limits, and Russia will not accept another betrayal. We lied to them. We lied to them with Gorbachev, with one foot east of NATO, one foot east of Ukraine. Remember that? Who would believe us? Each of these points comes wrapped in history Americans prefer, frankly, to ignore. Napoleon's march, I want to go back. Hitler's invasion, the collapse of the Soviet Union, twice? 3 times, really. Russia has lived through national death before. And the trauma, what they did, it shapes its leaders. It's in their mindset, their DNA. NATO expansion was not seen as a partnership. It was seen as an encirclement, a kettling, a containment. And Ukraine became the last line. Trump now, I hope, recognizes that ignoring these realities was his blunder. He never should have been dragged into a fight that couldn't be won. He was manipulated. He was played by neocon hawks and military-industrial complex ghouls and war profiteers and their media echo chambers. And by backing off and turning it over to Zelenskyy, he is at least signaling now to the world, that we're not going to be carrying this burden anymore. This is your problem. The war machine can howl all as one, and the cable news generals can rage, and Lindsey Graham, Gomer Pyle can pound his chest to talk about Israel and all that stuff. But the truth remains, the fantasy is over. And this is something that, my friends, I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how to let people know. I don't know how to get the point across. I do not know. I do not know. It is so frightening and so tragic and so scary that when I look at these people that we have. Look what they did to Monica Crowley. Look what they did to her. They just abandoned her. just abandon her. She's not Monica Crowley. Well, maybe her too. Soon they'll abandon her. Pam Bondi. Do you see Pam Bondi? Pam Bondi she looks spooked. Dear God. Pete Hegseth, the defense, shaking his fist at China? What are you, nuts? Who are these idiots? But I think it's almost over. Put our resources here in this country where we don't have the money, we don't have the resources. Do it now, Mr. President. Stop it. Enough. 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 Enough with this. We're not buying this anymore. We're not buying this. This is just stupid. It is stupid. I don't even know how to tell you anymore what I've been saying and others have been saying, and we hear it. Now, if you don't believe it from me, others have said it. Judge Napolitano has been exquisite. Jeffrey Sachs. McGregor is tremendous. Mearsheimer is at the top of his game. These are not wimps at all. Nobody is saying not to defend us, but they can read through the con. And Israel, Middle East, I haven't even gotten there yet. That's just. I'm worrying about the president. Do you notice he doesn't seem, when he said, well, I don't know, I'm going to catch a lot of grief for this. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Can't believe what I'm hearing. This is the leader of the free world? Huh? So, my friends, I wanted to give you that. Mrs. L and I yesterday had one of the best days. We went out, changing the note, by the way. We went out to a place in New Jersey called Ort Farms, O-R-T. We got beautiful, oh my God, my corn and tomatoes, and took pictures of the sunflowers and little kids with their petting zoos and farms. And it was just pure, utter, absolute beauteous America. Also tonight, make sure at 1 o'clock a.m. You on for that, honey? 1 a.m.? 1 a.m. Mrs. L is going to be my guest, my special guest on The Other Side of Midnight on WABC. 1 a.m. to talk about this lunacy, this utter, unmitigated lunacy regarding this. And by the way, Andrew Cuomo was calling it out, that Mamdani once regarding the legalization of prostitution. That can't be allowed. So in any event, so that's that. And I hope yous are well. Like I told you, it was a beauty. It was so, there we were yesterday, we were out there, and it was great to see families. And we're out, and this one little kid, he's got a little rabbit, and he's petting his rabbit. And then these families wanted to take pictures of, they wanted to, they have these sunflowers. And it was a family. Mother, Muslim, I guess. Mother's got the not the veil, the hijab. They're out there having fun. Mom, dad, and little girl. Little girl is cute as hell. Wants to cut sunflowers. And we're out there. And there's people. It was the American Gothic. It was beauteous. It was perfect. So anyway, the father's taking a picture of the kids. I said, listen, I'm going to take a picture of you because there's always one parent. And you can only, do that selfie thing so much. So he took a picture of us. So we're out there. We got our head inside this sunflower thing. It was beautiful. It was fun. Drank a little root beer it was tough because Saturday is, for me, fasting day. Which, by the way, I can't once a week, just reset your system. You gotta reset. And that was a beauteous thing. Absolutely wonderful. It was just terrific. So that was that. There was something else I was going to tell you. I forget what it was. I forget. In any event, so I know people are going to say, listen, they're going to say that I don't really care, but they're going to say, oh, you're a lefty. Lefty? There's no left or right. The lefties are pushing for war. The right's pushing for war. This left and right stuff is, what's over with, right? You know what's done. I'll tell you another thing, which is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never, ever thought of myself as being, I'm going to say this, white. White, to me, is like being right-handed. It's like, yeah, but I never, but I'm being told and have been told constantly that there's this vitamin. Was it a vitamin now? Black vitamins? What's it called, honey? For black women only. It's a vitamin called black women only. Can you imagine if there's a vitamin called white women only? And I'm just so tired of this nonsense. I'm just so tired. Well, all of a sudden, you got this Sweeney chick, and all of a sudden with the American Eagle, and they're going crazy. They're going berserk. Why? Because it's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, young women that a lot of people find attractive, who's thin and in shape, and not some 400-pound twerker wearing a bonnet, raising all kinds of hell in Chipotle. I'm sorry, you know what I'm talking about. That we have to tolerate. So here comes, and then the one that's driving them absolutely ape shit, bat shit crazy, I should have said bat the latter, is white sororities. Oh my God. Oh, you must see Mrs. L's. Go to Lynn's Warriors, watch her interview with Sam Sorelli. Miss Globe? I know it's coming up later, but she's telling kids, this is, you see, white, but now these sororities, young, white, athletic, in shape, successful, they're not even mentioning race. It's a change. It's a change, and it's about time, because I'm tired of this. I'm tired, not of negritude, but the fact that white has been sold as evil and all this for so long. I'm sick of it. And anything to drive these people crazy. What the hell's her name? Sweeney again with American Eagle? What's her name? Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney's a nut. Who the hell ever knew about that? But when they throw that ridiculous, that Dylan Mulvaney at us, we had to sit there and lump it and take it. Some dude walking around like, sorry. We had to take it. But Sydney Sweeney, oh, you said jeans. F you. Big time. You got it? It's that simple. I'm sorry. I mean, they are creating militancy, and if there is such a thing, it's ridiculous. Remember now, it's the bonnet. Remember the hoodie? Remember the hoodie was a sign of thuggery. People wearing hoodies outside, thugs, always hiding the mask. Now it's a bonnet. You put a bonnet on, you got a problem. And watch the bonnet fly off. I watch a lot of police videos. I love this. Violence and fighting. First thing goes is the bonnet, either that or the wig. Off it. Flip your wig. Ain't just an expression. Violence and insanity, the likes of which we haven't seen. And isn't it beautiful? How many of you love to see these, quote, homeless encampments in D.C. cleaned up by ICE? And I got the news, by the way. We talked to a friend of ours in D.C. Mrs. L was talking Friday, one of her operatives. And this is somebody who is pretty much kind of a liberal type. They love the fact that Trump's cleaning this up. They love it. Why? Because they don't want to die. They want you come out of a Union Station. My God, they got MRAPs and military. It's beautiful. And all of these encampments. Who the hell are these people thinking they can set up these shit shelters in the middle of nowhere, groveling in waste? They're unsafe. They're unkempt. They're eyesores. Because what? They're saying, I'm going to stay here. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to your place. I'm going to decide in front of your front lawn. I'm just going to decide. I don't understand this. It wasn't a matter of our being discourteous to the unfortunate. It was the idea that we were told yet again, shut up. We're in charge. Remember what were those places called? Those something zones, and was it Portland? I forgot the name of it. These crazy Lunacy. And Trump is saying, I don't care. Did you see that? What was her name? That see that honey? That this TikTok illegal with her big car. They dragged her ass right out of there. She was raising all kinds of hell. You gotta be a citizen. You gotta play by the rules, or get a green card, or whatever it is. That's it. The best thing he ever did, Rob, is close down the borders. Period. Period. It's the best thing he ever did. Tom Home. Everything else,
Now remember, we still have potentially up to 20 million.
We could still have, Mrs. L says, up to 20 million
That came in under Biden.
illegals under Biden. So we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. We're eastbound, just watch old bandit run. We'll see. In any event, my friend, so that's it. That's it for now. Everybody have a beauteous day. Johnny Maz the Spaz, thank you. Brasileira Mia. Carla, we love you. Ryan, thank you so much. And thank you for your time and your thoughts and your compliments and everything. Got a brand new one up. Listen, I want Russia, how are you? Have a nice day. You're on your own. See you later. You worry about your thing, we'll worry about ours. Thank you. And end this nonsense. And I don't know I don't know who is advising President Trump, but they think they can use him. And just look at this. What does Lutnick and Witkoff know about any of this stuff? In any event. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Don't forget to follow Lynn's Warriors. Go there right now. Got another video. See what she's already done. Lynn's Warriors. Don't forget the Lionel legal section. And also, don't forget, make sure you are subscribing right here, right now to Lionel Nation, and like this video. You got to like this video. It helps us. It puts us in the HOV lane, okay? All right, my friends. Have a great and a glorious day. Remember, do what you think is right. Follow your instincts, and don't let anybody get you down. Don't listen to anybody. Just do what you think is right. Follow your instincts. You're right. And until we meet again, my friends, remember the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.